Then we start knowing the world and expressing ourselves in the world through awareness. And then we get the simultaneous mind perspective of the interweaving of knowing through mind and its limitations, and knowing through awareness or knowing through beingness. The profound, holistic mind perspective. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Terry.
Good morning.
Hi, Sally.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So really, in this fragmented world, in fragmented tenderness of being a human in this world, it's so beautiful to come together, to have this holistic approach, being whole. And fragmentation is the nature of being human. All these different facets that we point at the light, like a crystal or a diamond. You just keep moving it, and then it reports on, like, this is what it feels like right now, and this is how I interact from this perspective. But we pull up higher into the light, into the wholeness, realizing we've been whole always in the first place, a whole human being. Let's take a breath together. So we usually have a little bit of a reporting and on how our practice is going, and sharing at the end. For some that stay, that's always really profound, and some of us are a bit shy. I remember I was for a long time too, and look at me now, still shy, but it doesn't look like it. So if something comes up, if sometimes you're in the middle of I have this all the time, I get distracted by profundity. I can't let this go, and I have to write it down or whatever. So if that comes up, you can maybe write in the chat window. You know, I know we haven't done this really, and you don't have to, and don't be distracted if somebody does. Maybe something that comes up, and you can either do it to me privately, or I mean, you know, you can choose my name or do it to everyone. Whatever comes up, even a limited experience, you know what? I don't feel boundless at all. Where is that love you talk about? Anything. It's all good. You know, we're sharing here, and we all have these fragmented little shards of experience arising, and so notice the movement and all that shimmering of all that potentiality, and then kind of pulling, and then simultaneously, like, take a breath. Let's take a breath. Yes, just open up. So that's, you know, in Sochen, when becoming aware that we are aware, is where we step into the magnificent vastness of Sochen, or the depth of the human experience that's somehow got put together as a teachings, and some call it Sochen or Mahamudra or Advaita Vedanta. It doesn't matter. It's all the beauty of the shimmering of beingness. So I say this like quite often. So let's all become aware that we're aware. Just be aware. Like, even if you have to look between a couple thoughts, and notice the self-evident brightness of being. It's not a dull state in between. And then notice the in that moment of becoming aware of aware, there's the immediate grasping of, like, I became aware. It's like, notice that, and then there is, I became aware. So mind fades to the background and awareness flows forth. And then when that happens, then there's still a little bit of like, that was me. I am that is becoming aware. So awareness awakens to itself. It does not need an intermediary to help us to become aware of itself. So we learn to step out of the way and dissolve our habitual patterns like a vapor in the sky. And then you allow your true face to shine. It's the face that resides in your heart, if it has a location. When it apparently tells the story, I'm here in this location, then it's the heart. This beautiful, awakened, luminous, loving awareness that was here before your parents were here. And then the most beautiful realization and teaching is that in these profound traditions, that ultimate reality exists within the mind stream of each and every sentient being, whether we realize it or not. And we come here together to realize it. And we go, aha, oh yeah, the recognition of what we truly are. And then from that perspective, we become the healers in the world. So feel into your beingness. Beingness is really challenging to explain. In its most elementary perspective, being is a sort of rainbow-like presence that you sense anytime. And then this self-illumination, shining the light of knowing on itself, it recognizes itself. I only talk about one thing, but that's just what I do. And we just keep repeating it. And I can't hear it enough myself. It's like, oh yeah. Ah. The boundless aha in the limitless mirror of delight. So from that beingness, let's flow out to all of us on this call. Just from your heart, just flow out from beingness. That's really important. By recognizing our own beingness, we recognize the beingness in all beings. So here in this little lovey tribe of getting together and going like, oh yeah. It's not always so easy to find a safe space in this world. This is a safe space. So flow out to anyone, all of us here, and embrace. And there is the beautiful unconcealment of the luminous experience of being in human beings. The self-illumination. And then there is wisdom and compassion. That's what we find. So, we speak about non-meditation, non-doing, just natural, just dropping, flopping. So, if it's so natural and so non-doing, what the hell are all these pointing out instructions that we always get? Like, go do something, go shift your mind. So that's a little bit of a dichotomy, isn't it? So non-doing, so where we actually find that capacity is we only set the intent. So when it's like, when we are being asked, oh yeah, let's take the perspective that there is no out there. Everything may be within and then boundless, or being aware of being aware. You just set the intent and drop it, and allow the trust and confidence that the momentum of awareness. So the intent, and we set the intent, and at the moment of dropping, awareness shines the light upon itself and takes it from there. This is the practice of awareness awakening to itself, by itself, from within itself. So then, yeah, maybe we can stop that meditator's habit of out-there-ness orientation, intrinsic in mind's usual perspective. And we shift more to a within orientation, as if all appearances, events, thoughts, sights, sounds, sensations, emotions, all apparent objects were none other than the emanation of mind. So let's take a breath together. And I ask you to take the perspective that everything you see, if you have your eyes open, and if you have your eyes closed too, because plenty going on behind the closed eyes too, take the perspective of nothing out there, everything within mind, everything the fabric of awareness, and drop it. Just drop it. Because the mind wants to go, yeah, it's starting to steer, and you know, we get good at the as the meditator to make these subtle little adjustments, and those, even the most subtle of adjustments that might be below the threshold of complete appearance, are still a little bit of doing. So then we start knowing the world and expressing ourselves in the world through awareness. And then we get the simultaneous mind perspective of the interweaving of knowing through mind and its limitations. And knowing through awareness, or knowing through beingness. The profound, holistic mind perspective. So the unified experience of the mind and our awareness allows the knowing of beings through beings, and knowing the union of being and beings. So feel the union. Here on Zoom, here sitting in our little room, here, all by ourselves. Don't let that limiting belief, I'm so tired of Zoom, get in the way. Feel the union of beings. Let's take a breath. We set the intent. That's the main start of our practice, is setting the intent to awaken for the benefit of all beings. So that can only manifest among the realization of the union of beings. So more and more we open up to this unified field of boundless space, beings, and knowing. So knowing, awakefulness. So there is the luminosity, the luster of an awakened mind. Which becomes even apparent when we feel really mundane. The little what about me mind is looking for activities. And we learn to rest in the brightness of mind. So just sit and have the mind gaze upon mind. And look into it. Can you find any thingness in that mind? Any substantiality? Look in. A soft search, you know, let's set the intent, I'm looking. And then any apparent thingness which could manifest in the movement of mind, in its thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And then, you know, that evaporates like a vapor in the sky too. Dissolves like a vapor in the sky too. Or it recedes. So do a soft search. Maybe this is a little bit of doing right here. This is a bit of a practice, yeah. Do a little search from the mind and look for the mind. And there's kind of this falling all the time. You're going to fall. In the unfindableness, there's a bit of a dropping into the boundless abyss or something. So sometimes in that direct experience of unfindableness, what remains is just a wakefulness. Might sometimes be experienced as a soft joy, as a complete absence of lack. And it's the sweet, sweet freedom of the wide openness, the boundlessness, in which there's enough room for all universes to arise. Realizing that the mind's apparent self-existent nature is an illusion, is something that more and more becomes realized from our practice. And then when we can keep the mind from that perspective, there is a receding, a dissolving of difficult mind states and a flourishing of beautiful healing mind states. So last week I mentioned that that they say, I think in the Mahamudra teachings, maybe other places too, but that's where I found it, is that thoughts and ultimately all events in appearance start arising more orderly. So in this open, free, sky-like nature of mind, thoughts arise more orderly, one at a time, not chaotic and painful psychological inner conflict, but just notice that, just easy, not holding too tight that nothing moves. And in this openness, negative mind states, difficult emotional states, pain and misery arise and are seen as they really are, and they become self-calm. Okay, so self-calm is, I didn't make that up or improvise that. That is really what it said. And either consciously or subconsciously, all of us yogis have realized that already, because that's why we keep coming back to this mind perspective. A peaceful, deeply calm, oceanic beingness upon the waves and currents. So usually we learn that we stay with the oceanic peace while the storm might rage on the surface of the ocean. But it's actually being taught that the ocean gets calmer, even in the apparent out there-ness. So that is for you to ponder and realize and bring forth in your life. Maybe from our beautiful practice, all bring peace and calm seas to all beings. Let's take a breath together. Natural body. Natural breath and energy. Natural heart and mind. Allow awareness to arise from the heart, flow out of the eyes and the whole local sphere of awareness, and mingle awareness with the space all around, and mingle the space all around with awareness. And no concerns, just beautiful, bright, aware, open, free. Preferences and aversions may still come forth here and there, but they just appear like a shimmering, insubstantial rainbow. Let's sit in the continuity of that bright, loving, awareing mind. Just let go completely. We're all holding the space for each other, completely safe. Let go into safety. Take refuge in the safety of your own boundless wholeness.
You're muted, Timo.
Thank you. Please, light-hearted. Please notice that if it gets a little serious, that's a bit of doing. So relax that too into lightheartedness. Lighthearted part of the natural state. So when we realize that the depth of our practice serves the well-being of everyone, I guess that sounds pretty serious. So maybe here too, the middle way, as always, light-hearted. And I take my practice and my bright, fresh mind very serious. In a light-hearted way. Navigate that, little yogi. You know, they say often when there's this satori moment or people, yogis awakening, they burst out laughing. Like, is this boundless everythingness all there is? Yes. It's all there is. Wow. Experiences, movement of the mind. Let it move without elaborating. How interesting is that? To realize I've never deliberately had a thought. They just come. And because of their somewhat thematic cohesiveness, we start saying, I'm thinking that. They just arise out of an openness and dissolve into an openness. Like the sun and its rays. Just as the sun and its rays are not separate, non-dual. Like a flower and its fragrance are not separate, non-dual. Like the ocean and its waves, not separate, non-dual. Like the space and all the objects arising in it, knowingly, not separate, non-dual. So let's take a breath together. And again I ask you, take the all-mind perspective. Everything within mind, boundless mind, drop it. Bright mind. natural mind. So right here in the middle of our practice together of deliberate realization of our beingness and interconnectedness, we set the intent, this is my life's perspective, not the meditation. Not the slightest bit of meditating, yet not an instant of distraction. Infinite loving awareness. So this is the practice of the stabilization of awakeful awareness throughout our lives. Our lives become an open-eyed meditation, soft and gentle. Let's refresh and take a breath together. Mouth open. Decontracting, turning inside out, in all directions, and out. Just flow out. Does it feel boundless? It doesn't matter if you feel like I'm only filling this room right here. Any realization of an awareness that goes beyond the boundaries of your anatomy, that's it already. A body arising within awareness. if today you're a little distracted, just keep returning. Just welcome back. Just set the intent and drop it. Any restlessness, all welcome. So all of us here, because we are serious yogis, keep awakening throughout the day. If we had fallen asleep within our own competence for a moment, and then when you awaken, I know my experience. That's like the first unveiling. So then, don't be like completely happy right away there. Oh, I know my emotion or whatever. You can go like maybe set the intent to have the no out there-ness perspective, the all mind perspective. Just like lightning fast. You just set the intent. You just learn it just shifts. Or maybe also identify that awareness is timeless because it doesn't come and go. Always right with us in its full shining capacity. And you can indeed open up to the field, being open in every awareness. Just stream awareness into the center. Kind of dissolve the meditator on your seat and take the every awareness perspective. And see if you can think from there. So instead of sky gazing into the field, being the field of awareness, and then like little rainbows, thoughts and emotions and feelings just kind of shimmer and dissolve and have no seductive qualities. And indeed, from that perspective, I'm the huge, boundless butterfly dreaming I'm a person. Let's take a breath together. Refresh. Bright mind. A few more minutes. See if you can stay bright and open, maybe while leaning into your day. Do you dare to think of something you will have to do today while being here? Can you not become encapsulated by it? Yeah, maybe come out of your yogi position. I can only be aware when I sit this way. Whatever. You know, maybe don't let me push you into anything, but just some ideas. Bright mind. As Lama Roger says, see if you can even be more aware while a thought is moving. How about that? So please don't let any limiting beliefs come in the way. Just to recognize your awareness is liberation, is realization, is it. That's it. The rest will go by itself. The snowball has been pushed, can't stop it. Just allow it. Allow it to roll and encapsulate all beings. So yeah, the evolution and maturation of our realization would be love or include love. So love is the way awareness expresses itself in a human life. Wholeness causes wholeness, goodness causes goodness. So our practice becomes an expression of light, spreading awareness and tenderness in ways both subtle and profound. It's really okay, it's not egocentric or self-indulgent to love the healing, nourishing experience of your effort. To deeply enjoy the goodness of your practice today. Amazing. That you keep coming back every day to this beautiful, open-hearted perspective. And I thank you on behalf of all beings for that. If they all knew your beautiful stance, heart stance in the world, they would all just be so grateful. This is so important that we do this. This is the healing of the world. So there's indeed free-flowing healing momentum. In goodness creates goodness. And even if there is some part in your mind that feels, oh, I didn't do well enough. I was distracted, or I didn't really experience what Timo was asking me to experience. Forget about it. Being aware, being bright, we all know how to do that. And even if you feel you didn't do well enough, think of all the not so nice things you could have been doing today. There are so many. Like many millions of not so good things we did not do today. So deeds of omission are profoundly valid. So feel into that too, as you feel maybe some self-critique arise. May we be the essence of healing for all sentient beings in this interconnected sea of beings. May our hearts shine with compassionate understanding in this ocean of awareness love. We wish to hold all those that enter our realm so they may find their own boundless wholeness and creativity. so they may realize that love is found through loving. May they all be healed throughout their interconnected body-mind continuum. May we all walk together in love and accepting one beloved community, one family, heart to heart.